Hello team, welcome to 20 weeks pregnant. Oh my god, I can't believe we're here. But I'm not going to do like a big update now because we've actually got a 20-week scan today at 4 p.m. It's currently 10 to 10. Oh, it's going to be such a long day waiting for that scan. I'll be honest with you, I'm really nervous today. Like, I'm really anxious. This feels like the big scan. I know that like there's no safe point in pregnancy at all, but I don't know, it just kind of like, this kind of feels like the big one. And yeah, just got a lot of riding on today, haven't we, I suppose, because we've started to get so excited and like it's actually happening, hopefully. And yeah, it's a lot, so I'm feeling really anxious. I will probably catch up with you tomorrow. Fingers crossed, hopefully everything's going okay. I think it's because I haven't felt baby move really yet. We had a couple of moments where I've thought, was that it? Obviously I've got an anterior placenta, so baby's got that to kick through. It's got like a big juicy placenta in the way. So I know it's normal. I know it's completely normal to not feel movement, like really strong movement yet. I've had a couple of moments where I thought, was that it? Because people describe it like bubbles popping, and in my mind, when I think of bubbles popping, I think of like fizzing, like champagne bubbles, like loads of little bubbles going. But I was kind of like lying on my side to go into bed, obviously, and I think like bump was closer to the mattress, and I kind of felt like what felt like a big bubble sort of rising to the surface and go pop. I was like, oh, what was that? Because I was just dropping off, and I noticed it as something that didn't feel normal, like something that didn't just feel like gas or whatever. And then it happened another 2 times that night, like within probably about a few minutes of the first one. And then I haven't really felt it again. So I'm kind of like, was that it? And it probably was it. I'm hoping that it was it. But because there's been no sort of really strong, that was a kick movement, you know, I guess I'm feeling anxious about that. I think if I'd felt them more, I'd feel less anxious. But I seem to just get anxious around scans anyway. But I'm very, very grateful that the scan is today. We don't have to wait any longer. And yeah, whatever. Listen, you can tell. I'm like, ooh. So yeah, I'll hopefully be updating you tomorrow with what's been going on the last couple of weeks, because the aches and pains have well and truly started. So yeah, I feel pregnant now, and it's going amazing if it's going. And that's just what I'm feeling very, very positive overall, but then sometimes your brain just goes, but what if you're not? But what if something's gone wrong? And as soon as that thought is planted, it's really heavy. And the last the last week has been baby loss awareness week, and there was the remembrance day at the weekend, so that's been really hard. Like it's been on the radio, it's been on the TV, it's been all over my social feeds, and it just kind of, I think it hits, I don't know, it's really difficult because it's just reminded us of our miscarriage earlier on in the year, and then your brain just sort of goes, well, it failed once, it could fail again, and you're like fighting against those negative thoughts and those anxieties, trying to like be like, no, don't, come on. Innocent until proven guilty, you know, like so far everything has been fine, so everything's gonna carry on being fine. But it's really difficult. So yeah, hopefully, cross fingers, toes, and eyes that everything's okay, and I will be back with you tomorrow to embark on the second half of this pregnancy. Where's the time gone? It's mad. Yeah, so fingers crossed. I'm gonna go and try and distract myself with something, maybe like a walk or something, and we'll go from there. Hello, sorry, I'm very out of breath. All I've done is walk up the stairs, but pregnant. 20 weeks, oh my goodness, yes. So we had our scan yesterday. I'm really happy to report it is all great news. Baby is absolutely fine. They are growing really nicely. Everything like passed with flying colours, really, with all the checks and everything. I did have to go for a couple of little walks, a few jogs, do a few jumping jacks in and around the maternity ward to get them to move into the right position for all the photos that they needed to take. Get your nose out there, mister. That's not for you. Yeah, so we had to do all of that and jiggle them around a little bit, but they managed to get all the photos that they needed to get, do all the checks they needed to do, and everything is looking amazing. It's still really tricky because like I can't feel them very strongly. Again, like I said, I feel like I maybe have felt them, but I haven't been certain that that's what that is. So it's still really strange seeing them on the screen and moving around, and I'm just like, why can I not feel this? But that's on having an anterior placenta. She literally said that it's smack bang in the middle. That's pretty much why we're not feeding them super strong yet, but she said over the next sort of few weeks she'd definitely start to feel things. And when I was watching television last night, I did get that same feeling again that I got from the other night when I was just dropping off to sleep. It's more kind of like I can't feel them kicking, can't feel like the impact when they kick. It's more that I kind of feel when the kick goes away, if that makes sense. Like, you know, like when you go over a bump in the road in the car and your tummy goes up, it kind of feels a bit like that. So like butterflies in your tummy, I suppose. So yeah, I assume that is baby kicking, but it feels weird to say when I don't fully know yet. Does that make sense? I don't know, but yeah, still very strange to see them. But they waved at us, which was super cute. Like they literally, she was doing like the face checks and stuff, and they had their hand there, and they just went like that. They were like that and waved at us on the screen, and the sonographer and stuff were they were cooing. They were like, oh my god, that's so cute. So yeah, it was really cool, and they got us to close our eyes when they were checking the kidneys and all that kind of stuff, just in case we saw anything. So we still don't know baby sex, which is how we'd like to keep it. If we do accidentally find out at one of the scans, you know, there's nothing really we can do about it, but it's quite exciting, like having the surprise still. So yeah, everything is good, and we are now officially halfway, which is bonkers. It genuinely, it's felt like the longest 5 months, but also the quickest 5 months as well. And I feel like it's going to go so quick from this point onwards. When I think about the fact that it's probably like only another 4.5 months, that's scary. That feels like really, really soon. So yeah. Hello, hi, Amelia from the future here, looking glamorous as always. I'm just editing these vlogs because we are about 4 weeks behind. I'm currently 24 weeks pregnant. Spoiler alert, things are going really great. But when I was editing these vlogs, I noticed that I seemed really down and dejected in the 20-week one, which doesn't really seem like it should fit because we got great news and everything is going so well. But because I noticed it, I knew you guys would as well. And I just wanted to sit here and give you a bit of perspective with hindsight. Now I've kind of like processed everything, because you kind of expect me to come on camera and be like, oh my god, everything's perfect, we're so excited, and be bouncing off the walls with this great news that we've been waiting for. But I just didn't feel like that at that time. It was more like a sort of subdued gratitude for the fact that everything was okay. And I even said to Chris when we came out of the hospital after that appointment, I was like, I don't feel like this huge elation that I thought I would feel. And I think it's because I was so anxious before that appointment, and obviously all of my stress and my worry from like the first half of the pregnancy had been building up for 5 months to that day. And then when you get told that everything's actually okay, it's such a relief, and you kind of go from high level anxiety there down to this, oh, we can breathe, this is actually happening, it's going okay. And it's such a huge drop. I think it caused a bit, I think I was still in shock, to be honest, when I was filming this the next day. And what I like to call an emotional hangover, you know, like when you just have that huge high and low, not necessarily that was a low, but you know, just like bringing me back down to normal levels of anxiety, that it's hard to process. So yeah, if I come across as really sad, I think I'm just still processing at that moment and realizing that it's okay and that everything's working out so far great. And it, like in hindsight, it did kind of feel like, it does kind of feel like the first half of our pregnancy was one journey and the second half has been another journey. an amazing one, and we're just like so excited and bouncing off the walls now. But yeah, it kind of like all built up to that day, so it just took a little bit of time to process, I think. So that's, I think, what you're seeing here, and I think it's really important to show that, you know, that everybody processes things completely differently, and it took a lot of processing to get it through my head that it was all good. And I still hadn't actually announced to the internet at that point, and I was very, very nervous about that. Again, didn't need to be, because it went perfectly and everybody was so lovely, and you guys have just been bloody amazing. It's been wonderful making that transition. But you never know, do you? And it just felt like such a big thing, and it was making my brain whir about, you know, the future and what my business is going to look like, and there was a lot in that brain. But yeah, I just thought I'd hop on and explain that, in the hope it might sort of help, because I just know that people are going to be like, oh my God, you seem really sad. Not sad, just processing. Yeah, and everything's good. So anyway, back to the video. Thank you for watching. We bought some things, and I'm going to show you what they are. Like, this is silly, and I don't need anybody going, wow, these are really unpractical, blah, blah, blah. We know that they're not practical. We know that they'll probably need to grow into them. It wasn't really about that. It was just more, I guess it was more kind of just like a symbolic thing, I suppose, just for me, probably more than Chris, to be able to go, no, this is real, this is happening, you are halfway, you are allowed to start being really excited, you are allowed to look in the baby clothes section, you are allowed, if you see something that you really, really like, you are allowed to buy it. So while we won't be buying like loads of clothes at this particular point, we did pick up we each picked something in Tesco to kind of like mark the occasion, really, of going past the big scan. So picked up this set, which is so flippin' cute. I'm not a Mrs. Hinch super fan, if I'm honest. I follow her, I think she's great, but I didn't buy it because it was Mrs. Hinch. I bought it just because it's so adorable. Look at that. It's got that little hood. It's like a little toweling thing, so cute. And we chose the up to 3 months one, because that was the only size they had, really. That was the smallest they had. So again, they won't be able to wear it straight away, but kind of thought it was really cute for a girl or a boy. And then we got this one, which is also super cute. We did get this one in newborn size, which I don't know if that's silly or not, because again, you don't know how big they're going to be, but it's got little ears on it, and it's like a little furry onesie thing. I haven't even done the zip. Goes all the way down the leg, look. I'm gonna cry, I can't. So yeah, I know that they're silly, and they're probably gonna get a poo explosion in them within the first 5 minutes, so it probably is very impractical and very daft, but it's just something that we wanted to do to just kind of mark the occasion, and just I can sit and I can get them out of the cupboard and hold them, and just sort of remind myself that it's real when I'm feeling a little bit anxious. So they're super cute. I love them. I'm so excited to allow myself to be excited without feeling weird about it. But then there's still like a little thing at the back of my brain that goes, yeah, but don't get too carried away, like just in case, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I think it was kind of more just like forcing myself to allow that happiness and stuff, I guess. So yeah, right, listen. Anyway, 20-week update. I have started to get the aches and pains of pregnancy. My lower back, very achy, my hips achy, although my pregnancy pillow, which I feel like I need to wash the cover of soon, because it's probably a bit grim. The pregnancy pillow has been amazing. Highly recommend this Pharmadoc one. It is so comfortable. And having a night on that really just sort of like feels, kind of like resets my back, resets my hips at the moment. Whether that will continue to happen, I don't know, probably not. But they get really achy towards the end of the day, especially if I've done walking. Also, I've been getting groin pain So like right in between my thighs at the top, getting really like a lot of aches there, like DOMS, like you've been to the gym and you've done that exercise but with your legs, you know, that one. I feel like I've got DOMS constantly, especially if I've done walking. And at the weekend, like we did a fair bit of walking, I honestly feel like I've been punched in the vagina. So that was interesting. It's just like proper sore, like pressure, like just muscle soreness, I guess. Probably because there's extra weight that's being carried there now. But yeah, so that's interesting. All those aches and pains. I haven't got the heartburn yet, touch wood. I'm pretty sure I will not get away with it. But for now, I'm very much enjoying and very grateful that that hasn't happened yet. Do still sometimes feel a little bit nauseous, if I'm honest, but it just kind of like, I'm sat here now, and I had a McDonald's breakfast. So that might be it. I've been eating really, I say really healthy. I've just been eating normal. I've just been eating balanced. That is the word, balanced. Loads of fruit, loads of veggies, loads of good stuff like protein, fibre, all of that. Not a huge amount of junk food, but then when I fancy some, I have it. Like today I really fancied a McDonald's breakfast, so I had it. Or, you know, like chocolate seems to be a thing. Like I quite enjoy a little bowl of Revels in the evening. So yeah, I'm not really denying myself anything, but at the same time, genuinely just kind of eating nice and balanced. So yeah, I'm kind of like sat here feeling a little bit nauseous now. Like not nauseous, but not nauseous, if that makes sense. So some days I get that. It tends to be if I haven't slept very well. I was a bit tossy-turny last night, so that I feel a bit more sick. And then still at night time, probably around 10 p.m, feel a little bit nauseous, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was before. So just kind of getting on with that now, really, and probably feeling like that's going to be a thing throughout the pregnancy, but it's manageable, so it's fine. Headaches have kind of gone. They were a thing for a while. My skin seems to have cleared up quite a bit as well, which is really nice. I had like a few weeks of it being terrible. My hair is still quite dry, my skin is still quite dry, but again, I feel like it's getting a little bit better. So I don't know if there's been a hormone shift recently with my skin clearing up and my hair starting to get a bit shinier. But either way, I'm here for it. And yeah, I can brush my teeth without, well, I know I do still gag at night time, but in the day I can brush my teeth without gagging, which is a win. And that's about it, I think. So let me show you my bump. Might be easier up here. I've changed places. This is the bump. Whew. I'm so out of breath. That is still something that's a thing. Bump is large and in charge now. I really do feel like they're here, you know? You can see their house just kind of like living there. Bearing in mind I have had a McDonald's breakfast, so I'm a little bit bloated. It's not as big in the morning, but it is still quite big. And yeah, it's I'm loving it. I'm loving wearing tight clothes. You can really see it when I put my jumper down. Ta-da! I'm loving wearing all my bodycon dresses and stuff and just looking as pregnant as possible. I'm here for it. Yeah, I'm loving seeing my body change. Like I said, I'm just hoping that I still love it on the other end as well when everything's deflated. Bless you, Toby. You are so cute. Toby's very excited to be a big brother as well. He's still, he's not as obsessed with me as he was. You coming up? He's not as obsessed with me as he was. And he'll like go and cuddle with Chris now a bit more, whereas he was like stuck to me like glue in that first trimester. So again, I think there's been a hormone shift of some kind. But yeah, he still puts his head on my tummy and listens to baby. So it'll be interesting to see how he behaves when they get bigger and start to feel like big kicks and stuff. But yeah, he's very excited to be a big brother. We are officially announcing on Instagram today, and I'm so nervous. Like I'm really, really nervous, but also like the majority of my feelings are excitement and relief for finally being able to talk to people about it. But I'm also a little bit nervous as well because, you know, the internet is the Wild West. But yeah, Toby is the star of the show of our pregnancy announcement picture. Let me show you, it's so cheesy. But I love it. Like, you've got to milk these things. I might not ever do this again, so, you know, that's what our pregnancy announcement looks like. It's Toby reading this book that I made on Canva. And it says, what to expect when your humans are expecting, studying to be a big brother. And then on the back it says, answering your questions. What is this thing? What's that smell? Will it feed me? Can I play with this toy? And did we just become best friends? Must read by March 2023. Super cute. I just like got it, like printed it and just wrapped it around a book. It's actually a wedding book, I think, that my friend gave me, like a wedding planning book. I made that and wrapped it around this book, and we've taken a picture of Toby looking like he's reading it. I don't care. It's so cheesy. It's so millennial, but I'm here for it. So yeah, that's going to be going live on Instagram this evening, and I've just filmed like a little YouTube video saying hi, I'm going human, ta-da. So yeah, everyone's gonna know today, which is it's just really nerve-wracking, isn't it? Because it feels like such a special, such a private, such a wonderful thing, but I'm really struggling to hide it now. And I'm also would love to be able to talk openly about it and talk to people who've been there, who might have some advice for me, who might be able to just, you know, just sort of connect with other people who are going through the same thing, or be able to ask opinions on certain products or whatever. So yeah, I'm excited but nervous at the same time, because, you know, the internet is the internet. I want to be able to share stuff, but I don't want to share everything. I know we've spoken in detail in these kind of like pregnancy vlogs, but that's you know, that's me, that's my experience. It's not my child or my child's experience. So yeah, it's a really tricky one to kind of navigate, because there's all kinds of parents as creators online, and yeah, I think we definitely don't want to be sharing our child's face or their personal story online. Happy for their part of my life to be shown online without faces and stuff, but as for the whole like turning into a parent family vlogging channel, not gonna happen. So yeah, it's interesting like stepping into that world as of today, and learning where to draw lines and all that kind of stuff, and where we feel comfortable and what we feel comfortable sharing. So yeah, really interesting, really scary, but super excited, and flipping love the photo. I also wanted to choose something that was a little bit different and wasn't too, I don't know, wasn't too in your face, as like a scan photo or a bump picture for the first thing that we share. I probably will share those things moving forward, but as the first sort of like announcement, I didn't want it to be so instantly like, whoa, pregnancy, because I know how hard it is to stumble across posts like that on your feed when you've been through loss, and I can only imagine how difficult it will be for those who are struggling with infertility. So there's no easy way. There is no easy way to break the news to somebody who's going through that, and I know that there will be people in my audience who are going through that, and that's really hard to kind of like come to terms with. So yeah, it was my thought that it might be a little bit less jarring, and then as soon as they realise it's a pregnancy announcement, they can shut the post down if they don't want to read it, and then mute me, unfollow me, whatever, and go from there. But yeah, it's really tricky. It's so hard, isn't it? Like, you're always going to, with anything that you put out online, there's always going to be somebody who's maybe a little bit triggered or hurt by it, and that's hard. But at the end of the day, this is our journey, and like, we're allowed to share our excitement, we're allowed to share our joy, and I think that's really important, because I definitely struggled with that at the start. I struggled with, obviously we have had a loss and we have had a miscarriage, but overall, like, our journey has been, apart from that, which was difficult, our journey has been fairly straightforward. You know, we caught quite quickly, and a lot of people don't have that luxury, and so I almost felt guilty at the start that it had been quote unquote so easy for us, which is silly, because everybody's journeys are completely separate, and you can't not enjoy yours because somebody else is struggling with theirs, if that makes sense. So I need to just keep reminding myself of that, I think, and allow myself to share the news and whatever, and yeah, put that out there. So yeah, that's it. That is 20 weeks. So we'll see how it goes later, fingers crossed. And yeah, I guess I will catch up with you. I've been staring at this jumper on the radiator the whole time. I'm trying to fold it up and put it in the drawer. I will share with you how we go from here. But hopefully, I know I say this every time now, hopefully next time I speak to you I'll have like a more definitive kick, but I definitely feel like I have felt them. And 20 weeks ago went great, they're all good. And yeah, it's actually happening, kids. Hopefully. Thanks for watching.